So it's very important to only eat liquid gold. What do I mean by that? When you eat certain food during the day, food represents the information. So usually the people who are not inside their own body, who are not confident in their actions, who are looking for approval or success story or something inspiring outside of their own life in the present moment, because they are not happy with their present moment. These people always looking, and I'm one of them. I was yesterday one of them. These people, we are looking for some kind of source of energy outside of us. We are not supporting our own life. And in that case, we're watching for that one more video, one more course, one more teacher who are going to transform, change the circumstances in our life that we are disliking, that we are not happy with. And in that case, we're also looking for some hormonal pleasure in our food. Because food always causes some chemical reactions in your body, in your brain, and then your brain signals to your organs to create certain chemical reactions. It signals hormones. So hormones, they are catalyst of things happening in your body. And when we consume a lot of external things, information, food, other people, opinions, teachers, masters, they are different frequency. Even sometimes you're absolutely getting to the next level, and in this level there are always little checkpoints before you go to the next level. And these checkpoints a lot of times bring you back to the level where you were before. So you have to be very, very careful and observe what kind of information gets inside of your brain, because sometimes you get to the level where the things that you used to watch and that used to bring you to this level are not relevant to you anymore. For example, in my spiritual development, at first I was enjoying the masters, the people who were teaching us how to open our heart. They were teaching love, because I didn't have enough love in my life. And when I didn't have enough love in my life, not from other people, from myself, to myself and to other people, I was always looking at something sweet to create the same hormones, the love, unconditional love create in our body. And when we naturally have that state of mind where your whole life is meditation, where you accept, where you trust God, where you love other people, not because they're nice to you, not because they belong to you, but because you love them. When this happens, you naturally don't need the same validation from the food. You need a lot less food. You don't crave sweet so much, because sweet food creates these chemical reactions in your brain and in your hormones that love does. And when you have enough love, when you step in your woman power, and feminine power is unconditional love, when you step into it, your body naturally produces these female hormones, and you have that balance. And of course, the balance is the key here, because the power without love, which is power is and willpower, is the male hormones. We also need them, like testosterone, adrenaline in our body. But in a female body, unconditional love always should be a little bit more present than willpower, and we absolutely need them both. But that's we'll talk about it a little bit later. So when you overconsume, getting back to my thought, when you excuse me, when you overconsume information, and sometimes you overgrow this information already. You bigger than that. For example, for me, the teachers who just talk about love, 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 I overgrew that a little bit. I got it. I got the point. I know how to support myself in the production of that love. I am my own creator now. At some point, from the consumer, from a student, it's time for you to grow into a teacher. And it doesn't mean that you need to have your own social media, that you have to teach anybody, but you have to be a teacher to yourself first. You know the answers already. And when you know your own answers, but you still keep going and over-consuming other people, courses, videos, teachings, the life will push you into the point where it's time to grow up. You're not a baby anymore. You're not a spiritual or life child anymore. You're adult, and you can be teacher to yourself. And that's why other people, courses, videos, and everything else not gonna work anymore. And they just gonna leave you empty and leave you like you are not enough. Everybody's thriving, and somehow you are the only one who is the loser. So it's very important to choose very carefully, maybe one or two teachers that I still give you that inspiration to move forward, but don't overconsume the information. And when this happens, when you become very careful what you enter inside of your body energetically in terms of information, all of a sudden you understand that your body will thrive on a lot less nutrition and food coming from outside. You can produce your own amino acids. You can produce your own vitamins. Your bodies, the science discovering that our bodies are absolutely amazing. We can do that. But when you start listening to your higher self, because each one of us have these superhuman abilities. In the near future, they're not going to be superhuman anymore. When we have clairvoyance, when we see clear, when we hear clear, when we hear our own unique higher self, and we create with the God, we can hear him directly. We have these channels. We all our own psychics and visionaries and teachers. And at some point, the student grew up to be a teacher. At some point, a child become a teenager, and then an adult who built their own unique life. So that's what we need to do. Unfortunately, a lot of times we still staying children, and we're blaming others for everything that's outside of our world. So the very first thing is stop over-consuming, then stop blaming anybody for anything happening in your life, and start listening to yourself. You know what's right and what's wrong. You consume enough videos, especially the free content, especially Instagram, YouTube, and all of that. It's designed, and there is no enemies, there are no demons. But if you think that way, when you are a creator, when you're God, and you decided to come to this 3D reality and play it, you wrote down all of the scenarios for your life. And at certain point, you tell them, okay, push me, distract me, until one time I will be fed up, absolutely fed up with trusting everybody but me, with seeing what's going on with my life, not liking it, and one time one time I'm gonna take responsibility on myself. I'm gonna wake up from this dream, and at that point, you can't mess with me anymore. And that's when you go to the next level and you understand everything in your life was created by you from the old personality. And now the new personality walked into you, and it's time to create your life. And all of a sudden, I promise you, when you set yourself the course to eat less food, to exercise more, or to do whatever is your goal, you will see how magically you finally start making progress, especially with the food. Because when we're not confident, when we don't have love, when we don't feel love, when all of the emotions, all of the things we can't manage to do in our life, we compensate with food. So it is absolutely essential to start trusting yourself.